Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, has been called the most successful queen since Cleopatra. Her personality was so captivating that even her archenemy Wallis Simpson wrote about her legendary charm. Portrayed as a selfless partner to the king in the Oscar-winning movie The King's Speech, the Queen Mother is most often remembered from her later years as the smiling granny with the pastel hats. When she died in 2002, just short of her 102nd birthday, she was praised for a long life well lived. But there was another side to her story. For the first time, Lady Colin Campbell shows us that the untold life of the Queen Mother is far more fascinating and moving than the official version that has been peddled ever since she became royal in 1923. With unparalleled sources including members of the royal family, aristocrats, and friends and relatives of Elizabeth herself, this mesmerizing account takes us inside the real and sometimes astonishing world of the royal family. The Queen Mother, according to some sources, was a backstabbing, cold, power-hungry woman who dominated and outfoxed just about everyone she came in contact with. Elizabeth Angela Marguerite Bowes-Lyon was born August 4, 1900, the ninth child of Claude George Bowes-Lyon and Nina Cecilia Bowes-Lyon, Lord and Lady Glamis. The family divided its time between Glamis Castle in Scotland and homes in Hertfordshire and St James's Square, London. When war broke out in 1914, Glamis Castle was used as a reception centre and hospital for the wounded, and young Elizabeth helped out where she could, entertaining wounded troops with reading, playing games, or running errands. In 1920 she met Prince Albert, second son of King George V, known as Bertie to his family, at a party in Grosvenor Square, London. Elizabeth was charming and vivacious, and for Bertie it was love at first sight. Lady Elizabeth and Prince Albert, by now the Duke of York, were engaged on January 15, 1923. Wary of losing her freedom, it took 3 proposals from Bertie before Elizabeth agreed to be his wife. They married in Westminster Abbey on April 26, 1923. Elizabeth's medieval-style silk crepe moire bridal gown, embellished with pearls and silver thread, was designed by Madame Handley Seymour and was the height of 20s fashion. The Duke and Duchess of York had 2 daughters, Princess Elizabeth, on April 21, 1926 and Princess Margaret on August 21, 1930. The idyllic lives of we four, as King George VI would call his small family, changed forever when on December 11, 1936, Bertie's brother, King Edward VIII, abdicated his throne so that he could marry his mistress, Wallis Simpson. Suddenly, thrust into the top job, shy Bertie needed the support of his more gregarious wife. Elizabeth never forgave the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, as King Edward VIII and Wallis were styled after his abdication, for the damage inflicted on Bertie's health after his unexpected accession to the throne. The constancy and resilience of we four was of paramount importance during the war years of 1939 to 1945, when the royal family remained close to London and witnessed firsthand the devastation of the Blitz. King George VI died on February 6, 1952. Queen Elizabeth was now styled Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. She continued in her public work for the rest of her life. She died on March 30, 2002, the first member of the royal family to become a centenarian. After her husband's death and the accession of her daughter, also named Elizabeth, to the throne, she began to be known as Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, so as not to confuse. The Queen Mother continued public duties after her husband's death, both in the UK and overseas, including over 40 official visits abroad. Her Majesty was patron of around 350 organizations and, for many years, was president of the British Red Cross Society. After King George VI died, the Queen Mother moved out of Buckingham Palace and into Clarence House in St James's Palace. In 1953 she purchased the Castle of May in northeast Scotland and spent time there every August and October. She removed herself from royal life for quite some time and went to Scotland to grieve and figure out what her role was moving forward, Arbiter said. There was not a defined role for a mother of the sovereign, and she carved out a fantastic position for herself as the nation's favorite twinkly-eyed granny. She set the tone for the rest of the royal family. The Queen Mother was appointed a Lady of the Garter on December 14, 1936, and, upon her husband's coronation, was named the First Lady of the Thistle. The Queen Mother was the recipient of a number of orders, declarations, and medals, both in the UK and overseas. The Queen Mother was a remarkable woman, Arbiter added. It speaks to her strength of character that she conducted her last public engagement at 101 in November 2001. As Christmas approached, she attended the staff party for the most loyal staffers and got up out of her wheelchair to speak to them. She's from the wartime era, where you didn't complain, and you helped your neighbor and sacrificed yourself for the benefit of others. She was a real stickler for the tradition of the monarchy. Queen Elizabeth, called the Queen Mother to distinguish her from her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, never carried money or did her own shopping and had little idea how much things cost, the Daily Mail reported. She preferred to drink Krug champagne, owned racehorses, and bought paintings. A letter written in 1926 when the Queen Mum was Duchess of York shows a lifetime of extravagant habits, the newspaper said. Writing to the court dressmaker, the Duchess expressed concern about the cost of her dresses. Admirers say the letter shows she was worried about overspending. Others believe she was trying to get the dressmaker to knock the price down. By the end of her life, Elizabeth's income from the Sybil list was almost $1.3 million a year. Her daughter and her grandson, Prince Charles, quietly helped her out. Her financial situation became more tangled as her longtime treasurer grew older. By the time of her death in 2002, Elizabeth owed $14 million.